Hello and welcome back to our glass cannon playthrough, and we are now here, and yeah, our vassals are almost bursting off the screen, as you can see right here. This is actually kind of amazing. This is actually one of the largest battles that I think I've ever seen. Yeah, I actually think this is probably the largest battle I've ever seen, with the largest amount of vassals that I've ever seen, actually. And yeah, Unkid is going to get absolutely, well, I mean, you could see for yourself. Look at this. This is absolutely crazy. And we have Thoman's help. And this is actually really quite amusing because what he could have done, Unkid literally was over here. He was going to recruit from the village of Ukba, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna see if I can maybe try to intercept him or something along those lines. And I did just that. I went and I tried to catch him, obviously, because he has a smaller army than mine. He was able to outrun me by a very small margin. So while that was infuriating to begin with, I thought to myself, oh, okay, well, that's not too bad, you know. If we can maybe herd him over to Ukba Castle, then maybe we can take the castle while he's inside. Obviously, that does provide him a defensive bonus, but still, we might be able to eliminate him that way. But he decided against going into the garrison. He went right by it. I was very confused by his stubbornness, I suppose you could call it. And now he has run into Thomond, and I have joined the battle. Well, technically he has run into me, and Thomond's joined me, but still. Anyway, let's do this. This is something that I could very easily auto-resolve, but I'm thinking to myself, hey, you know what? Maybe we should just give it a go. Because this is... it's kind of rare, right? It's kind of rare that we get one of these moments where there are just so many units on the battlefield, or shall we say, not units on the battlefield, but so many units in the actual fight, that it is going to be kind of interesting to see. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a very extended fight, but if it turns out to be a bit of a slog and something that's a little bit too long and drawn out, then I might decide to, you know, cut it in half or something like that. But generally, I'd like to see what happens. And hopefully... oh, nice. Yeah, hopefully I can get a couple of hits. Oh, nice. Again. What? What is going on here? Oh, they've apparently replaced me with someone else that can actually hit with ranged weapons. No, never mind. No, it is still me. I literally just... yes. Never mind. Literally just missed 3 times in a row or whatever, but yeah, that happens, Anyway, I think it's one of those moments where I think to myself, okay, gonna hold fire. This is a bit of a dubious decision, to be honest. Usually you do not want to hold fire in a situation where the enemy's cavalry is very, very close by, because you want your archers to be able to retaliate at a moment's notice. But I feel like I'm wasting way too many arrows at this point. We're wasting arrows by just allowing our forces to fire however they want. But look at them. They're actually, oh, they're running into us. That is a huge error on their part. Look at how much damage they're taking. Oh, that was really bad for them. That was super, super bad. Oh, yes. That was really good for us, though. Super, super nice for us. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to tell the cavalry and the horse archers to charge in. Hilariously enough, we actually have some of those. And hopefully I will be able to make good use of them. I'm trying to shoot that guy over there, but it seems like he has a shield up. Trying to just catch him by the very side of the shield. Obviously the hitbox is providing a little bit more protection than I would like, but that's okay. Not to worry. Going to tell my infantry to charge in now as well. My archers are going to continue firing. I'm not going to tell them to charge just yet. And please, no, please don't get killed. Please do not get killed. I'm going to run back in here. Ooh, yeah. It's one of those times, isn't it? It's one of those times where I think to myself, oh yes, really wish I had a shield at this moment. But, oh well. You know, we made that decision a long time ago that we were going to completely forego that, but that particular defensive measure. And okay, yeah, it seems like we're fine. Alright, I can now tell my archers to charge in. If they do decide to take me out, I can't really do much about it. They're going to change into auto-delegate, and then we might have to retreat and then just finish things up with an auto-resolve or something like that. But yeah, hopefully we're not going to have that happen. Hopefully I will remain alive. That's a tall order, but we'll try. That was a nice hit. Yeah, seems like we're absolutely fine. And I'm actually going to tell everyone to speed things up just a little bit. We're actually taking a lot of casualties right here. I'm not entirely sure why. Why are we taking so many casualties? Because I don't see that many cavalry. We shouldn't be taking that many casualties from the enemy's cavalry, to be honest, in my opinion at least. And maybe it's because we've just received reinforcements. It could be that the reinforcements are taking a bit longer to get here than... well, than we'd otherwise like, of course, but that happens, you know, that happens. I feel like we have enough archers here to be able to prevent any unnecessary losses, or too many unnecessary losses, that is. Oh, hit one of my own friends, yes. That happens. Let's not dwell on it. It happens to me a lot. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Gonna tell my forces to charge in once again. Gonna tell my archers to charge in, shall we say. And seems like we have them on the run. I feel like we have them on the run, so it shouldn't really be that bad if we tell our forces to charge in. Oh no. I think I'm gonna die. I think I'm gonna die here. Let me strafe a little bit. Strafe. Oh, did you see that arrow going by me right there? Oh, that was real close. Okay, now let's tell them to hold position here. Maybe we just need to intermittently tell them to hold position every so often, just to make sure that they solidify their defensiveness a little bit, and just make sure that they don't get themselves caught off guard. Gonna get a couple of hits in here. Yes, not too bad, not too bad. Okay, where are the enemy? Yeah, the enemy archers are now doing quite a bit of damage to us. Okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to move back just a small amount. Just a small amount. Just so that the enemy's cavalry has to fight us by themselves. And hopefully that's going to make a difference to our survival. And so far, I think it's actually working quite nicely. As you can see from the kill feed at the top, we're getting so many kills as a result of our positioning here. Because, well, as I've said before, as long as your archers are not randomly firing at targets that they cannot hope to possibly kill, they will make much more efficient decisions. And if you force that decision, for example, you know, with the line of sight of certain enemies, then it's going to just result in much better kill deaths. And, you know, that's actually kind of cool, in my opinion. I like that. I can't believe I missed, but okay, there we go. That happens. Oh! Alright, that was a kill. Not sure if we're actually going to be able to do anything here. I think I might want to retreat. Let's just see what happens. Because it might be that my forces are able to still pick up the win. I mean, skirmishing is actually alright, as long as you have a number of other units to support your archers. But if you only have archers, and they are forced to skirmish over and over again, it's usually a negative point in that battle. And you can see here, look at what my archers are doing right now. Oh, they're actually getting a lot of kills. They're getting a lot of kills right there, and now they're skirmishing again. So that's actually really effective. What they're doing right now is really effective, but usually that is not what they do. Usually what they do is much worse than that, but it's working primarily because the enemy has a lot of infantry. and they don't seem to have that many cavalry remaining. At least that's what I could observe right here. They had very few cavalry at the very end, and as a result, the skirmish order was very efficient, and that was a nice end to an otherwise relatively assured victory. I would say that we were pretty sure that we were gonna win that. And do we? Oh yeah, we don't have any more Aserai vassals that we can actually even take prisoner. Well, that we can even persuade anymore, right? Because obviously I said in the previous episode that we were just going to persuade 2 of them, and I'm going to stick to that because we now have 3 people from Aserai culture. And I think that's I think that's decent, you know, I think that's decent. Because I could make it much, much easier for us. I could very easily just go and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to let this guy go. He already has 39 relation with me. He owns Habyar and Sahel Castle. I could persuade this guy with a literal click of the fingers, and boom, he is then going to be ours. But I'm not going to do that because obviously that makes things very trivial and way too simple. And as I've said before, I feel like persuasion is a very powerful tool, but that's the thing, I don't really want to say that it's powerful because then the developers are going to change it into an unfun mechanic, just like everything has a price, because obviously everything has a price has now turned into a, well, it's basically a shadow of its former self, which I have to say is very disappointing to see, because on the one hand, it definitely needed to be changed. Don't get me wrong. It was way too powerful before, but now it's way too useless. So there needs to be a much better, at least in my opinion, this is obviously all my personal opinion, personal preference, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, generally I feel like there has to be a better balance between the amount of money that you're spending for fiefs and the amount of money that you're spending for vassals as well. And I'm talking about in terms of charm skill, of course, because charm skill is very powerful right now, whereas everything has a price is just way too weak. So yeah, I think there needs to be a slight balance adjustment between those two things, because as it is right now, it's just so much more efficient to use charm, and you get so much more for it as well, which is really quite, well, it shouldn't be like that. I mean, obviously it should literally be that everything has a price is much cheaper than persuading vassals. And that's the reason why I obviously put that larger, you know, that larger cost on the overall activity of persuading vassals. Because if I didn't do that, then, well, I would have persuaded half the map by now. You know, that's the kind of thing that you can do with persuasion. And in general, yeah, I think you should be able to do that. You know, that's the funny thing. I think you should be able to do that, but the cost should reflect a certain thing. And I'm not talking about anything, you know, in particular here. I'm talking about, you know, just generally, you know, how many fiefs a vassal has, or you know, something like that. You know, nothing too extravagant, but generally it should just reflect the current status of that vassal. For example, if I wanted to try and persuade Dirthart here, personally, I don't understand, even if he has a negative 13 relation with us. I mean, yeah, he's a bit disgruntled about me, specifically. He's a bit disgruntled. I would say that he doesn't hate us. He doesn't want us to die. He doesn't wish, you know, the worst things upon our family or anything like that. He just is a bit disgruntled. I feel like that's what negative 13 relation indicates, right? However, when you try to persuade this, unfortunately I can't do it. You know, I can't try to do it again. I was actually going to try and persuade him again, but that's the point. When you try and persuade this guy, he just doesn't care. You know, he has such a low percentage chance for him to join you that relation really makes a big difference. And obviously it should, you know, relation should make a big difference. However, it just makes too much of a difference in the form of the negativity. And I feel like they should give you more options to make it so that when you actually try to persuade someone, you get an opportunity to sweeten the deal, as it were. And you get an opportunity to maybe make amends with your relation. So, for example, let's say that I wanted to say to him, hey, hey guy, whatever your name is, you know, whoever, I mean, this doesn't have to be Dirthart, right, by the way, it could be anyone, right? So let's just say that we're trying to persuade this one person to join our faction, and we say, hey person, do you want to join our faction? Let's say that they have a really, really bad opinion of me, but I really want them to join because they have many, many fiefs under their control or something like that. And they have a very powerful clan. But let's say they have -50 or something. I feel like in the persuasion effort, it should be possible to increase your relation with that vassal before you even get through to the bartering screen. And I'm talking about maybe through conversation options, I'm talking about maybe through the power of your money, or the power of your renown or influence, or something along those lines. I'm talking about something like that, contributing to the overall welfare and trust level that that vassal has with you. And I think that that could deepen the, shall we say, RPG or the RP of the game. And I'm not just saying, hey, you know what, let's make it so that this is much easier or anything like that. I'm not saying that one bit, because it's already pretty simple. But that's the point. It's way too straightforward at the moment. It's sort of like it's like a 1 or a 0 at this point. It's basically like, does this person have a positive relation with us? Yes. Oh, okay, they're probably going to be joining us. Okay, great. You know, that's fine, and that's all very well and good, but I feel like there could be more done with that system, and I think that if there was a bit more depth to it, it could be excellent. It could be super, super fun to make a speaky character, you know, talky persuasion-based character, and have that actually be a very intriguing and viable way to play the game. So you would necessarily, you could potentially do a pacifist run if you wanted to. You could do like a challenge run where you don't actually kill anyone, and all you're doing is scheming in the background. And I feel like that could be a very interesting perspective for the player to take. And obviously that's very far away at this moment in time, because let's face it, I mean, you know, the persuasion system, you know, would need, you know, a big amount of reworking and overhauling and things like that to be able to make that work, I think. I don't think it's going to be a very, very simple thing to do. But I think it is possible, you know, I think it is possible. Anyway, we're going to be letting someone else take this, I suppose. And, yeah, we'll see what we can do. But we've taken Ukbar Castle, which is obviously what I wanted to do. And hopefully my suggestion is actually a little bit intriguing to you as well, because here's the thing. I'm obviously just suggesting these things and kind of opening up discussion surrounding various ideas, because I'm obviously, you know, trying to welcome you into making your own suggestions if you wanted to do that. And I'm not saying that you have to, obviously. This is, you know, it's obviously not compulsory in any way, but if you wanted to give your own ideas, then you can, down in the comments, you know, you can do that. But I just thought that was kind of interesting, an idea. Because here's the thing, if I wanted to do a pacifist run right now, I would level up my charm skill as soon as possible, and it's going to be very easy for us to do that. It's going to be very easy for us to level up charm skill, because charm skill is one of those skills that you can level up without really trying too hard, which I actually like. I like the rate at which you're able to level up charm skill. I think it is one of those... It's one of those perk trees that doesn't make me absolutely loathe the leveling system. And yeah, I've talked at length about this before, but I'm not gonna talk about the leveling system again because you know, that gets tiresome. But the point is, I very much like the way that Charm levels up. I feel like it might be a bit too fast at times, but I would definitely say that it's better than for example, Athletics or something like that. You know, I feel like Athletics does take its sweet time to level up, even when you have 5 focus points and all that stuff in it, and it's just way too harsh. But yeah, anyway, as I say, I've already talked about that enough. And Kasira has been taken. What? Kasira? Thomond has taken it. Oh, very good, Thomond. You've done an excellent job right there, sir. Very nice. Okay, yeah, so the owner of Kasira is now being decided. Okay, Oleg. Apparently Oleg wants this. That's very interesting. Actually, I'm not entirely sure whether I will give it to him. Maybe I should give it to him. Surely not. I will give it to Saruk, because he is the same culture. And that's the whole reason why we got these guys, right? I mean, otherwise, what's the point? But yeah, there we go. Alright, but yeah, as I say, if I wanted to create something like a pacifist challenge run, it would be pretty simple for me to just level up my charm skill and then just charm my way to victory. That would basically be the way to do it. But if there was a little bit more depth to it, like for example, the Forbury mod, I don't know whether you saw that, but there's a playlist on my channel, and it's basically called, yeah, it's called like Hardcore Bannerlord or something along those lines. And basically we installed a mod called Forbury. It is absolutely amazing. It is one of those really expansive, really enjoyably interactive mods that gives you an additional way to play the game. And it's absolutely fantastic. And the mod creators are wonderful for creating it. But here's the point. That's the kind of mod that I would like to see for charm skill and for various other things. You know, just something that you can do that is extra on top of what you can already do, which is obviously battling people, partaking in tournaments, you know, doing all that stuff. And just having an additional way to play the game is just absolutely amazing. That would be really, really fun. Anyway, owner of Turby Castle. We took Turby Castle, apparently. Oh, okay, very good. I guess I'll give that to Calatild. I have no idea. I should have probably given it to Cervic, actually. Oh, well, never mind. Yes, I should have given it to Cervic. My bad, my bad. Anyway, yeah, the Vlandians, we made peace with them. Why does it say that... Why does it say that Dirthart is the leader of the Vlandians when he is quite clearly not? He is a vassal of the Aserai, as you can see right here. That's actually very amusing to me. Alright, well, yeah, their total combat strength is completely done. Sturgia is basically done as well. They've given me 137,000 so far as well. The Southern Empire is doing okay. Britannia is basically done as well. They only have 1 castle remaining. The Western Empire is still doing very well. And they're not giving me that much. They're not giving me that much cash. So I'm a little bit disappointed by that, gotta say. A little bit disappointed, but oh well, what can you do? And we're gonna go in here next. I'm gonna be making a battering ram and a siege tower here. I think it's probably gonna be pretty useful for us. And we're gonna be leading the assault straight away. And I'm just gonna speed things up real fast. Take this without too many difficulties, or at least I hope that it won't be too difficult. And we're just going to charge them in. That's what I tend to do when I'm off screen as well, and generally it does tend to be quite effective if my forces can get the ladders up relatively quickly and not get absolutely murdered by the archers like I almost just did. Is that guy alive? No, he's dead. Oh, that guy's alive and he's trying to shoot me. Oh, how dare you, sir? How is he able to shoot me without getting murdered himself? Look at that. He's actually playing very well. Look at how sneaky he's being. Okay, well, whatever the case, I am going to raise... What is actually going on here with my... Who are these friends here? Berserker Noble, what are you doing? What are you doing, you imbecile? Why are you not putting up the ladder? I have no idea. They just decided just to ignore the ladder, and they were just standing there. I have no clue. But yes, now they are getting involved. And this is exactly what I wanted them to do beforehand, because let's face it, if we can get up here ahead of schedule and make this really, really easy, then I don't see why not. But they, for some reason, were just standing there looking at the ladders. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they were just talking to each other and they were just saying, "Do you know how to put up this ladder?" And then the other one was like, "No." And then the other one was like, "Yeah, me too." You know. It's one of those classic sketches that you would possibly see in a comedy show, or meme, or something along those lines, where it's just two people being extremely inept. I should know. I'll be one of them. Yes, I'll be one of them. Wait a minute. Maybe I can get some really sneaky kills right here. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Very nice. Did I really just miss that? I can't believe it. Zoomed right by that guy. Is there someone up here? Yep, there we go. Take him down, thank you. And where are my forces? Okay, so it seems like my forces are... Oh. I thought this was a door. Why did I think this was a door? Can I zoom in here? Yes, I can zoom in here, but let's actually not. Can I go back out? Ah. Okay, so it seems like I can't go back out, but it's not really going to give me that much of an advantage anyway, which is really quite amusing. I could have just gone around the side, to be honest, but yeah, there you go. I wondered, you know, I wondered whether I would be able to do it, because amusingly enough, I actually think that the developers have done something against phasing through the walls, because I have tried this multiple times when I'm off screen, just for fun, just to see whether it still works in many of the different castles that I attempt to take. And I obviously don't get any kills in these particular sieges. I literally don't even need to fight, because most of the time I'm fighting a castle that has, you know, about 100 units in there. My units are easily capable of murdering everyone inside, and so I'm not really required to do anything. And so, you know, I test out a couple of funny things, you know. I try phasing through the walls, I try jumping from this place to that place. You know, I do a couple of funny things, just in case, you know, you never know when you're going to need that experience, right? But, yeah, anyway, so I've been attempting to do that in my off-screen time, and there are actually very few walls that you can phase through, which you wouldn't expect, in my opinion. I feel like you wouldn't expect that, because there have been many times, you've seen me do that, in other series, and indeed in this one as well, where I have phased through the wall sometimes, completely by accident, and sometimes on purpose. But yes, mostly completely by accident, and nowadays it doesn't really happen that often, which is actually kind of weird, because when I first got this mod, the super speed mod, which by the way I highly recommend anyone to get. I think it is really, really useful in basically helping you not waste your time, you know. So when there's 1, 2, 3 units still remaining on the enemy side, you then don't have to wait for your own units to hunt them down, because sometimes they're in a bugged spot, or sometimes they're really, really far away, and it's just going to take your units a little bit of extra time to find them. And so as a result, it's a good idea to have a super speed, just to sort of speed that process up, and it's going to make it so that you don't waste your time as much. So that's actually kind of cool in my opinion. Anyway, point is, I feel like they've actually changed that. I feel like they've actually changed it so that many of the places that you could phase through before have not, don't have that functionality anymore, which is actually kind of funny. I wouldn't have expected them to actually change that, to be honest. It seemed like such a minor issue, but maybe they felt like it was exploitable in a really, really big way or something. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to do that, then yeah, I mean, of course it is exploitable. But I don't know. I mean, if you are wanting something to phase through walls and stuff like that, I'm sure there are easier ways to do it. There are probably easier ways to do it, or at least I think so. Anyway, let me see if I can maybe defend Medini Castle. I'm not entirely sure why Mitela is literally just standing here, waiting for me to attack her. Don't know why she did that, but I will happily take all of your loot. Thank you very much. And now let's actually see what's going on here. Okay, so Askar and Sanala are the only ones still remaining around here. And look at how much we've taken already. It is pretty significant, the amount of progression we're able to get just from having those 2 extra clans. And obviously the amount of combat strength that our armies are bringing to the table, it's enormous. And I'm talking about Thoman's army mostly, because Thoman, well, he did have an army of over 2,000 combat strength, but now he's running around with a significantly smaller one. But still, that's actually really, really nice to see. It's nice to see that kind of army running around in our faction for once, instead of literally just having a bunch of people that are going to get beaten by a soft breeze. Yeah, that tends to happen quite often. Anyway, I'm actually going to be bombarding the walls in this particular siege because I really don't want to take too many casualties here. And I seem to remember that Askar's siege itself is actually quite dangerous. At least I think it is. I could be misremembering and I might be thinking of something else here, but I'm going to bombard the walls nevertheless, because even though I don't think, even if we were to go in here, that we're going to take that much damage, I'm a little bit wary about the Aserai vassals. I don't know where they are. They seem to be leaving us alone for the most part, which is very strange. I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious about where they are at this point. I can only assume that we have taken them all prisoner, potentially. That might actually be the reason for it, and hopefully my trebuchets will be able to get the walls down before they are destroyed. It seems like we're losing quite a few of them, so I suppose I will rebuild some. And there we go, the walls are now completely down. Let me just make sure that we get that last trebuchet up and running, and there we are. Okay, so this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. At least I hope it is, because whenever the walls are down, usually it does kind of, you know, give the signal that we're going to get some pretty massive damage out. So let's see if we can do that. Gotta say, I actually really like the scenery in these sieges, and it's really amusing because you never usually turn around and see this kind of thing. I mean, just look at that scenery right there. Very picturesque, is it not? Yeah, it's just a shame we don't ever get to see that kind of stuff, because all we see is the bloomin' castle, right? You know, that's it. That's all we see. So yeah. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, there you go. This is basically done. And then you can see that from the I mean, look, literally the kill feed is just absolutely allied kills. And yeah, I don't think, I mean, they're not really going to be able to do too much here. You know, I'm actually surprised I was even able to get any kills here as well. Oh, we got 275 in athletics. Oh, finally. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, now that's really good. Okay. I was actually wondering when that was happening, because when you get to 275 in athletics, if you don't know, you get one of the greatest perks ever. It's really, really nice. I mean, apart from strong legs, of course, because let's face it, if I didn't have strong legs right now, I would have just taken 68 damage from that fall. And yeah, strong legs is, well, as I've said, I feel like strong legs is literally one of the strongest perks in the entire game, at least for me, and for player freedom, for being able to jump from high walls and towers and things like that, and to, well, take a very small amount of damage in the process. It just gives you so much more, I don't know, it kind of just gives you, I don't know, I guess just the freedom to decide whether you want to do that or not, without thinking to yourself, oh, if I drop down here, then I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the kind. It's a bit too restrictive. So strong legs provides you with a bit more freedom in that regard, which I very much like. And athletics at 275. Well, what does it do? Well, you're gonna see in just a second. It's really, really nice. Okay, wait a minute. Let's just take all the loot. There we are. Show mercy. I will not be claiming it myself. And then we're just gonna wait here for some time just to get myself back on my feet, because we've got to make sure that we can fight just in case there is another enemy army somewhere around here. And here is the perk. So this is really, really good. Look at it. You stun your enemies longer after they block your attack. Now, that is obviously good, but that's not the reason why this is good. Mighty Blow, each skill point above 250 grants you +1 hit point. Yeah, that's the reason why this is fantastic. If you get this, you automatically turn into some kind of walking tank. I mean, it obviously provides you with much more than you have ever gotten before in the entirety of the game. And I now have, well, I actually have 105 just as a regular amount. If I had HP per level, by the way, I would have about 200, 300, maybe even 400 HP at this point. So that's actually something to bear in mind. But with this perk now, let me see, how much do I have? I have 130, and yeah, as you can see, I've gained 25 HP, which is an extreme amount considering I only had 105 before. So it really makes a huge difference. But HP per level, if you do have that installed as well, then you're already pretty tanky, because you're if you're at my level 28, yeah, you're going to have some pretty significant HP gains from that as well. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. As you can see, we have completely demolished the Aserai for the most part. Sonala is a very heavily defended town, so I don't know whether I'm actually going to go ahead and take that. But I'm very much hoping that Aldrich and Thomond will be doing their best to take something else. It seems like Thomond wants to besiege Habyar, so it looks as though that might get taken as well. But otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.